So we're hearing more and more about libraries reporting that digital books, some digital books are going missing, right? And there are proposed book bans. A lot of these books are literal history books, right? Because the fascists are trying to erase history and rewrite it to their own benefit. Um, that's cultural genocide of a species, right? So I went to the bookstore, and I've little by little, I've been saving books like historical, right? Just to put away and keep, maybe. Um, even if one day I have to send these books that depict history accurately, right? If I have to send them out of the country for other people to keep, right? I'll do that. But anyway, so I was at the bookstore today, and I walked by this shelf of books, and all of a sudden they just slid down. They almost slid off the table, but they fell everywhere. And I looked over, and I initially, it was weird. It was weird because here's the thing, right? I'm clumsy, and spatially I'm off, so I do bump into things a lot, right? I do knock things over a lot. So initially that's what I thought happened, but I looked sideways, and it's almost like as it was happening, this guy's hand was kind of by the books, and he kind of flicked it a little bit. He knocked the books off right as I was passing, and it looked like I did it. And I went to pick them up, and people were looking like really weird, because like I was like, oh my god, shit, sorry, right? But they were looking at me, they were looking at him, and the woman who bent down to help me pick them up, she was looking back at him, and like she didn't understand what was happening. He knocked them off right as I was passing. And now I'm wondering, like, how many other times that has happened when, like, I pass something when I'm out, and something falls down, but there's this guy right there, not the same guy, but and then he kind of walks away with his head down. How many times was it me, or was it one of them? And of course, we've got there's when they walk by now, they're literally lifting their phone cameras right up to my face. They're just lifting it right up as they pass by. They're not even hiding it anymore. They're just lifting it right up. And the other day on the train, there was this guy with one of those cameras around his neck, like one with a zoom, like a real camera. As he got on I got on the train first, and then he got on, and he came to sit not too far from me, and he pointed it right at me, and then turned around. He had his phone out too, though. And I don't know if the phone and the camera were connected, but he didn't do anything for the entire time until I started to get off. And as soon as I started to get up, he started rustling around, like kind of moving and adjusting and grabbing his camera. And as the train door opened and I got out, I noticed he didn't use the camera, but he used his phone camera. And he took a picture of the sign outside, like the stop that I got off at. And then he looked back at me. Again, white. These are... It's a specific element. And you know what? I would say this is not... They don't want peace, right? They say they want peace, but they bring war. Everything they do is meant to provoke the target to fight back physically. They don't want peace. This is the sick, filthy depravity of a certain element, where they'll say they want you to stop shouting, but then they'll beat you and beat you and beat you even harder. And if you can manage to keep quiet, they'll do it even worse, until you can't anymore. And then when you cry out, they punish you for it, right? What they wanted was for you to cry out to begin with. It's sick. These filthy, sick games. You don't get peace by doing this to people. I mean, initially it might frighten them. It might frighten them and terrify them, which it does. But eventually, that fear turns into anger, and which turns into rage, which turns into feral fucking... This type of attack is an infestation. It's a swarm of vermin. Okay, humans have evolved to feel revulsion toward being swarmed, right? Toward infestations. That's not just humans, but other animal species too. So what these stalkers are doing is they're combining, they're associating that sensation with humans. This is not a program to try to stop a threat. This program is meant to create one. Whoever's running it knows that. They know that. They're not stupid animals. But the stalkers, the vermin who are just out fucking with people, they are stupid fucking animals. The more they attack people, they say that they're trying to create peace that way. No, they're going to create war. But these are the same sick animals who will justify one country invading another and then call the target of that, the country that's being invaded, claim that they're the ones who started war for not just lying down and dying and allowing their genocide to happen. Yeah, they started war for fighting back to save their people. This is the sick depravity of these animals in human flesh. That's what has control of our country now. Anyway. Yeah, that's what's happening. Night.